First, let's make sure we're all on the same page. Right now, most of the internet runs on encryption algorithms. Think RSA and elliptic curve cryptography. These work because classical computers would take millions of years to brute force the math involved. But a sufficiently powerful quantum computer using something called Shor's algorithm could theoretically crack that same encryption in hours, or even minutes. That's Q-Day. And here's the terrifying twist. Hackers don't even need to wait for Q-Day to cause damage. They're already running what's called harvest now, decrypt later attacks. Stealing encrypted data today, sitting on it, and planning to crack it once quantum computers are powerful enough. Your private data from 2025 could be exposed in 2030. So the clock is already ticking. So what's the solution? It's called Post-Quantum Cryptography, or PQC. New encryption algorithms specifically designed to be resistant to quantum attacks, even on today's classical computers. In 2024, NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, officially finalized its first set of PQC standards. That was the starting gun for the entire industry. Now companies need to actually implement these new standards across billions of devices, servers, and services. That's not a software update you push on a Tuesday afternoon. We're talking about a fundamental overhaul of digital infrastructure. And the window to do it safely is narrowing fast. So who's actually getting it done? Let's talk about the companies leading the charge. Google has been arguably the most aggressive. They've already begun rolling out post-quantum cryptography in Chrome and their internal systems, and they've published detailed roadmaps for full PQC integration. Apple quietly made waves by announcing post-quantum protections in iMessage through a protocol called PQ3, which they claim is the most significant cryptographic security upgrade in iMessage history. And Cloudflare, which handles a massive chunk of global internet traffic, has been experimenting with and deploying hybrid PQC algorithms on its network for years. These players get it. They're not waiting for a mandate. They're treating this like the infrastructure emergency it actually is. But not everyone is moving at the same speed. Several major players are taking what you might charitably call a wait-and-see approach. Some enterprises and legacy infrastructure providers are still in the assessment phase, basically figuring out what they even have to protect before they start protecting it. Part of the problem is complexity. Large financial institutions, healthcare systems, and government contractors often run on decades-old technology stacks. Migrating to PQC means auditing every single cryptographic implementation across potentially thousands of systems. It's expensive, time-consuming, and disruptive. The concern isn't that these organizations don't care. It's that the gap between the leaders and the laggards is growing wider. And Q-Day doesn't care about your migration timeline. One of the smartest strategies emerging right now is the hybrid cryptography model. Instead of ripping out old encryption entirely, which would be a logistical nightmare, companies are layering post-quantum algorithms on top of existing classical ones. So you get quantum resistance without immediately breaking backward compatibility. Think of it like adding a second deadbolt to your front door while you save up for a full security system upgrade. It's not perfect, but it dramatically raises the bar for attackers. NIST actually recommends this hybrid approach as a transition strategy, and we're seeing it deployed across TLS, the protocol that secures most web traffic, in real-world implementations right now. It's pragmatic, and in this race, pragmatic might be the difference between protected and exposed. Okay, so you're not a Fortune 500 CISO. Why should this matter to you personally? Here's the thing. The apps you use, the platforms you trust, the services that hold your financial data and personal communications are all part of this ecosystem. If the companies you rely on are dragging their feet on PQC migration, your data is at risk whether you know it or not. The good news is that consumer pressure and regulatory scrutiny are accelerating things. The US government has already issued directives requiring federal agencies to inventory their cryptographic systems and begin migration plans. More regulation aimed at private industry is likely coming. Keep an eye on whether the services you use are publishing PQC roadmaps. The ones that aren't talking about it publicly should make you ask why.